Let's talk about category romance. What is it, and is it for you? Hi everyone, I'm Lisa, bestselling co-author of the Snow and Her Seven Seal series, and on this channel we talk all about romance writing, specifically for newbie and aspiring romance authors. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday. Now, if you've never heard of category romance, it simply means the imprints of a certain line. So Harlequin and Boons and Mills really penned this back in, I want to say, the 60s. So back in the old days before Amazon, you would probably, as a reader, get a subscription to a specific imprint line. So these are the different category romances. So each category within Harlequin, you have Harlequin Blaze, Harlequin Super Romance, Harlequin Medical Intrigue, and they're always, I shouldn't say always, but they do change. They won't stay the same forever, although they do seem to stick around for quite a while. But each line has its own sort of personality, tone, heat level, protagonist, situations, and a reader may decide, you know what, I really love medical intrigue. I love reading about doctors and nurses falling in love, and this is a book that I know for sure I want new ones of every month. So if you had subscribed to that particular line at Harlequin, they would usually say, we're going to publish 4 books every month within this line. And then when you subscribe to them, you would get 4 new books every month in the mail to you. Or if you went to the bookstore, they would have 4 new books, those 4 books every month. And then at the end of the month, they would pull those books and put out the new books, because that's kind of how category romance works. It's kind of like a magazine subscription, but with books. And as a romance author, if you would like to do that, you should really start reading, obviously, within that line and get familiar with the storylines, with the types of characters, the types of conflicts, and the tone of those books, as well as the heat level. Now, for each of those imprints, they will have those, I don't want to say very clearly defined, but pretty well defined, so that you can start writing a story. And your story then should be targeted and tailored to that specific line, so you can submit your publication or your story to that particular publication, imprint, or category. Now, just because you don't get your book accepted into that particular category doesn't mean it's a bad book. It could just mean that maybe you're not as familiar with that category as you thought you were. Maybe they're moving that category into a different direction, and your book could be really great for another line that they have, or for another publisher, or maybe to just self-publish it on your own. So let's recap really quick. Category romance simply means it is an imprint or predefined set of criteria for a type of book. So imprints could be hot and steamy. You could have different imprints for Christian romance or for medical intrigue for people who like reading about doctors and nurses. There are tons of different ones, and one publisher like Source Books or Harlequin will have different imprints and categories within there. Now, within those categories, the publisher usually commits to publishing 2, 3, 4, or whatever per month of that particular line, so that readers kind of have an expectation set up going into it. Now, if you want to submit, sometimes, I shouldn't say sometimes, most of the time, those imprints will take direct submissions from authors, meaning you don't need to have an editor to submit your story to that particular imprint or category. However, an agent always helps, at least because they know the industry, obviously, as an expert, and can tell you right away whether or not your book will or will not fit within that category. So I hope that was helpful, and let me know below some popular category romance lines that you are thinking of submitting to.